Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Welcome to the show. Folks, it is Monday evening. Two topics on the table. Internet sensation by way of TikTok. Reesa Teesa was on Good Morning America. In case you missed it, she was also on the Tamron Hall show last week. Super viral. I'm going to say it, even though Charlemagne from the Breakfast Club apologized this morning. She's repping big back behavior. Now, her ex-husband, Legion, that's not his real name, but he did a 2-hour interview I watched earlier. He's a big back as well. Are these words offensive? I think everything's offensive in today's world. But Risa Teesa, again, super viral. She's telling her story in a 50-episode series on TikTok called Who the Fuck Did I Marry? I'm feeling her. I'm not hating. She's doing what she does. She has churned these episodes out, telling her truth. Not necessarily sure if it's the truth, but her truth. Okay. Phone lines open right now, guys. I had to reset my show because things were a little crazy earlier, but we will get it in this evening and discuss these two topics. Okay, Reesa Teesa. Pow! Through the roof, her story. 400 million views on TikTok. And she's talking about going to London. I'm not sure if she's going to move there or she's going to find herself a new man. I don't know, okay? My showrunner, Nature Boy, sentenced to life without parole. Nature Boy is part of a carbonation cult. That's the name of his cult. I'm saying it's a cult because the way he has been moving over the years, it's very cultish behavior. Even though he tried to denounce that term, he was just convicted with regards to multiple charges down in DeKalb County and sentenced to life with no parole. I'm not, rooting for this guy, but I have to ask the question, was he railroaded? Nature Boy, let me go back for a second. On April the 13th, 2022, the DeKalb County Police Department Special Victims Unit arrested him at his home and charged him with multiple counts of false imprisonment, 3 counts of prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. That's, putting people's sexual behavior online, and exposing them without their consent. And the R word, I'm not going to say the R word because of the algorithms. He has been convicted and given life with no parole and 10 years. So he for those who, subscribe to mysticism, even if he dies and comes back, I mean, I don't think there is any coming back, but if he comes back, then there's another 10 years he has to serve. Damn. He's out of here. But I want to ask the question, was he railroaded? The victim, and I'm not going to say alleged because he's been convicted. She took the stand. She told what happened, but things just sound a little off to me. I'm not a lawyer, but I've been through so many legal proceedings, and I've been giving legal stories over the decades. Just because you're a goofball, and he's a goofball, total goofball, does not mean that he should be condemned for the actions he was doing on social media. Everybody's clout chasing. It just seems like this was more so put out there in front of people to add fuel to the fire, so to speak. Call in if you know his story, Nature Boy. And I'm trying to find out, is he a nigga from New Jersey? Oh, my goodness. Troll babies, good evening. How you guys doing? All right. So that's my two topics this evening. We may or may not talk about Russell Wilson, released by the Denver Broncos, if you care, okay? Russell Wilson has just been released. Okay. Sir Shy, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. If you want to call in, Sir Shy, all right? Russell Wilson to Las Vegas Raiders or ATL Falcons. I would like to see him play with the Falcons. That's, Sierra's from, is it Riverdale? I think Sierra's from Riverdale in Georgia. So that would be a good thing for publicity and so on and so forth. Okay. Okay. And Tomau got your donation. Thank you so much for tapping in. Are you going to get on the line tonight, sir? Okay. And Wicked Hebrew, thank you so much. Oh, okay, that's a little crazy. Let's get down to business here, guys, with regards to Reesa Teesa. Charlemagne apologized. In case you don't know, I'm not a Breakfast Club watcher or listener, but he has apologized, and I think that's a good thing. He's an old nigga. He's married. He's got a family, and I'm sure he's got some big backs in his family by way of the South. So he did the right thing by apologizing. Let's go to area code 908. Good evening. Are you there on a Monday? 908.
What's up? What's up, Star? This is Kim. I had to call back. You were back talking about Reesa Teesa.
Hey, Kim, how are you? Let's go.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Let's go. Let's go.
I
Risa
don't.
Teesa.
I don't. I don't think he should have apologized. The reality is he didn't say anything that we all were not thinking. You were doing big back behavior. So you apologizing for what?
You
You
mean Charlemagne?
Sheila from.
You mean Charlemagne?
Yeah, he shouldn't have
Oh,
apologized.
okay,
No,
okay,
he shouldn't have apologized.
okay. Kim, this is beyond and bigger than the Breakfast Club. Never mind what they talking about. Risa Teesa was on Good Morning America. Are you up to speed this morning?
Yeah, she was on Good Morning America. She was on Tamron Hall. But the thing is, this story,
Cameron Hall last week. Slow down.
but they
400.
aired it today.
Yes, well, I saw Tamron Hall last week on social media. But 400 million TikTok views. She's lit. Yes, beyond lit.
No,
Okay,
I'm about to tell you why
tell
not.
us why. Come on.
Because the thing is, when you do TikTok, because they broke down the numbers on how she's going to get paid. She's going to get a chunk of money. But how they broke it down is it's a certain thing called qualified views on YouTube.
Right.
No, on TikTok, it can only come on your FYP page. So if it doesn't come on your FYP page and people tag you in the comments or you go look for them, those are not qualified views. Only ones she's going to get paid for is the ones that came up on the FYP. She's going to make some change, but not the way they made it seem. And then I got an update on BMW. BMW played her out. They erased that TikTok that they had telling her, when you ready, come holler at us, and how they offer her a car.
Okay, now hang on a second. Some of the stuff that you're referencing, people may not be up to speed on. The BMW post from whenever that was, a couple of weeks ago. You're pocket watching. I can appreciate that with regards to whether she will or she won't get paid on TikTok. I don't know how TikTok pays out. But when I say she's lit, she was on Tamron Hall, now Good Morning America. She's just a woman who was sitting in her car, and I'm not clowning her. I mean, but she has connected to other women, so that's lit in my book, and she's, her name is ringing bells. Yes, no.
Yes, but the thing is, it's only going to be for 5 more minutes. The thing
Okay,
is, everybody get their 15 minutes,
come on.
but everybody has been through situations where they got played. It's just her particular story is that hers is magnified because she collected all those red flags instead of seeing the forest for the trees.
Right.
Again, no discernment. You move in with somebody within 30 days. Like I said, I can come chill with you, but I can't spend a night and go to sleep because who knows what you're going to do. So it's just like, where is her common sense at? I don't feel bad for her. I don't. And
Okay.
that's no tea, no shade.
Stay with me, Kim. I forget how old you are. You sound like a knowledgeable woman who has some wisdom. But
Hmm.
what she has gone through, and I'm not, I'm not caping for her by no means. With regards to the pandemic, she moved Legion in. This guy, he played her like a banjo. I mean, I can't hate the player. You feel me? So her story is resonating. Whether she's going to profit or not, it's resonating with other women. Okay, so you say she's only got 5 more minutes left of fame. I don't know what's next for her, but did you see Legion respond? Her ex-husband.
Oh, yeah, they've been going in on him. They've been going in on him. They're saying,
But
like,
did you see him?
there's no way she.
Did you see him? I
Yeah, he
watched.
said she's lying. But this is the thing, Star. I don't know if you've been paying attention to his own family.
Well, hang on. Before you start saying you don't know if I've been paying attention, I just asked you, did you see his 2-hour interview that I saw? Legion.
No, I didn't see the 2 hour.
Oh, so you haven't been paying attention. You haven't been paying attention. Go ahead.
No, I have been paying attention. Listen, hear me out. I have been paying attention, but the thing is, the story gets crazy when his own family comes out and speaks to her because she had gave an update after all of that happened. His own brother, who he don't speak to, because he has a twin, allegedly has a twin brother. Allegedly, his father came out of retirement to work to pay for the medication because he had supposedly schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Because they said he's had it for years, and that his whole family does not want to be bothered with him. And they gave a quote when they called her, and they said the captain is loose, and that's what they told her. That means that he's on a rampage now.
Gotcha.
That's what that means to his family. But yeah, all of that came out. I don't believe nothing he says. Like, what he gonna say to me? What he gonna say? Like,
can I ask how old are you, Kim? I forgot.
Come out and say something.
I know we spoke before. How old are you?
I'm 46 years of age.
Okay. Reesa Teesa is so lit. You just called me giving me tea. She's that lit. Again, I'm not necessarily rooting for her. I think she is showing big back behavior. But I think Charlemagne did the right thing by apologizing. He's on a platform where you cannot just say anything that you feel. Radio is contrived in today's day and time. But go ahead and finish up, please. Anything else you want to put on the table?
No, I'm just ready to get past this. We gotta get something better. And then one thing I want to.
Oh no, I'm dragging this out for days. No, I'm not getting past this. But go ahead.
One more thing I want to say. I would rather see what's not like Russell Wilson go to Atlanta than the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
I think he'd be a better fit for the Raiders and get them a championship or something.
You want to see him go to Atlanta, the Falcons?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, to Falcons. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you, Kim. Great to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. She ain't been paying attention. Legion did a 2-hour interview. Legion's a big back nigga. Anybody see Legion? Oh my God. I have to respect, his pimping. He took her to the BMW dealer and had her sit up in a car, trying shit out. House shopping, never got her a house. What else? She was texting what she thought was his executive assistant, but it was really him, responding. Guys sit tight on the phones. Wicked Hebrew got your donation. Thank you so much, sir. Hey, Mandy, good to hear from you. Skylar Saunders, where are you, sir? Let me see if I can get Skylar to get on the screen. Okay. Hold on. Oh, my goodness, guys. And there is so much going on here. Somebody sent me a real crazy audio clip from Panda Chop News. Benzino's alleged ex talking to Clayface, Whack 100, talking about pegging the nigga. Lord Jesus. Let me go to area code 510. Hey, good evening. Are you there? We got 2 topics on the table. 510.
Oh, yeah. I'm back in the building.
Oh, Sir Shy.
I just
Sir Shy?
call it.
Sir Shy?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. How are you? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, audio's perfect.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I want to disagree with the last caller saying that he should go to Atlanta than the Raiders, because the only reason why Russell would go to Atlanta is for his wife, Sierra, and he'll be really close to Future Junior, and Future will be right there to pick him up after school. So I think he should go to the Raiders. He should go to the Raiders. He got Devontae Adams. He got a new coach, Antonio Pierce. He can win a ring. He can beat Patrick Mahomes and with the Raiders than going to Atlanta.
Okay. Sir Shy, if I can just get you to go back for a second, because Nature Boy sentenced to life without parole. I haven't even gotten to the breakdown yet of his sentencing. He was really annoying the judge. I was watching some of this on Court TV. He went live on Instagram during the trial. He was kicking the judges back in with regards to her testing positive for COVID. Now, yeah, I mean, listen.
Oh my God.
Nature Boy has done nothing different from any of these other cult leaders from the past. And here's something that I heard him say when he went live. He says he didn't allow kids to be around him because that's how Malachi York went out and a host of others. Now, that's not to say he's not a loopy guy, but is there really something other than, the one person who did testify against him? Is there anything else that made them give him life without parole and then another 10 years? That's a crazy sentencing.
Yeah, that's a crazy. I mean, he had a few people testify, saying that we were prisoners. Now you're going to be a prisoner. You know how it's going to feel. His ex-girlfriend is the one that kind of started off. I kind of thought this was like about money because they were making money off social media, especially during the pandemic. But yeah, this is definitely a little too excessive. Again, I can see a decade or whatever they can work out, but not condoning or sticking up for the guy, but
No.
I mean, life without parole is like, whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we're gonna find out, and then just to finish up on Charlemagne or lesser charge. He bended the knee to the sisterhood. It's the same sisterhood that looks the other way when Jessica Reed's brought up. So Charlemagne's just doing.
Stop and run it back.
We have to talk about that.
Stop and run it back for those who missed what you just said. Jessica Reed, who is still in litigation, right now with Charlemagne for the 2001.
Right.
One, we know what that charge is. Yeah, he never apologized to her, but he jumped on the apology for Reesa Teesa fast. Yes.
No, he sure did, and I'm looking at Angela Rye and Amanda Seales and all them that are buddy with Charlemagne, but they look the other way. As long as he toes that Democratic line, then they'll look the other way when it comes to Jessica Reed. But trust me, when that president gets elected this year, I think Ye's going to go after. Going to get Charlemagne up out of here. I think Ye's going to get Charlemagne out of here.
Okay. I'm not wishing for the guy's downfall. I could care less about what he does, but I just wanted to mention that. Sir Shy, appreciate the call back, man. Anything else?
Last thing. Travis Kelce's older brother, Jason Kelce, he just retired. He's a center.
Yeah, I saw him crying. I don't care. I don't care. I want to stay focused on Reesa Teesa. Yeah.
Right. All right. Thank you for everything, Star. I'll just tune in.
Thank you, sir.
Peace.
Yeah. Let's stay focused, folks. Reesa Teesa goes viral, repping big back behavior on Good Morning America. I may have to change that title. And Legion, her ex-husband of 6 months, I watched a 2-hour interview with him. It sounds like he's trying to gear up for a lawsuit against her. Oh, I know he's pocket watching her. Hang on a second. Papa Donna got your donation. Legion sound like a real nigga. That's a whole fact. I think he's a North Philly nigga. Yeah, he moved in with her during the pandemic. She let him come in. That's big back behavior. She said, yeah, he started paying my bills. Okay. The next thing you know, they get married. And Legion, I'm not going to say his government name. Legion says that the reason why the relationship fell apart was because she was cheating on him. Call in if you like. Terrence, I got your donation. Charlemagne is going back to his original color. Okay. Mike, I got your donation. Why has DJ Ponzi, a.k.a. Envy, never apologized for his big back Caesar? That was a hard shot. Thank you so much. Let me see if I can bring in another call here before I read more of this particular topic. The notes, pardon me. Area code 661. Good evening. Are you there? 661.
Yeah. Hello. Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Hey.
Camille.
Who's this?
Coffee chat with Camille.
Hey,
Camille, your sponsor, one of your sponsors.
Camille.
How are you?
I can barely hear you. Can you come to the
Are you
phone?
serious? Yes. One moment.
Give me a second, guys.
Okay. Are you able to hear me better?
So a little. Are you on a headset? What are you doing?
I am. You want me to go speakers? I can do that.
Yeah, let me get your information on the screen. It's great to hear from you. Camille,
All right.
coffeechatwithcamille.com, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
You sound much better. Nice to hear from you. What's cracking? What's shaking?
Hey, okay, so you sent me a link about Reesa Teesa, and I watched it. I watched that one. I watched her on Cameron as well.
Okay.
And I also heard Charlemagne's apology. I'm not going to say you. Okay, the whole big back behavior stuff. I don't know. I think I somewhat empathize with her just a little bit.
Okay.
Because I know that this can happen to anyone. But I feel like she probably should have waited and did a little bit more research and did a little longer dating and paid attention to the red flags.
Okay.
Because I kind of feel like we're in a Me Too period right about now still.
Right.
And sometimes us females, we're not taking responsibility for our behavior or inaction in our relationships, and then flipping it and becoming victims. So we need to be really careful, I think, about that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my take on it.
No, stay with me. You are on social media, Coffee Chat with Camille, Camille.com, and you're also on YouTube. Can I ask roughly about your age? You don't have to say precisely, but you sound like
I'm middle-aged. Middle-aged.
What would that be?
I'm middle-aged.
Well, there's different definitions of middle-aged today.
Okay, let me do it this way, okay? Between 40 and 60. Is that better?
There you go. Okay. Here's why I think Risa Teesa is connecting to millions of women.
Right.
Millions. She has accepted accountability. She is talking about how she should have done differently. I'll just say that. And she's not laughing. She's not joking. She makes no excuses. She says she's self-conscious about her weight and so on and so forth. And that's why I think she's connecting. So
yes.
do you not feel like she has the right to say these things? Or I want to be specific on your take.
All right. Yeah, of course she does. This is what she experienced. So for that, it is admirable that she's transparent and telling her story. It's a very long story. I mean, it's what?
50 episodes on TikTok. Yeah.
Right. 500 minutes. Right. So she had a lot to say. I mean, again, I appreciate her transparency. I'm saying we just need to be more careful.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not judging her. I understand.
Gotcha. On coffeechatwithcamille.com, that's your platform. Do you address topics such as Reesa Teesa? Tell us about what you do on your platform.
Okay. So really, I generally just interview guests that I have that come on that are from different backgrounds. Some are like celebrities, sports figures, business moguls, doctors or physicians. I have one, just all types of people from around the world. And they come in and they talk and give their take on whatever their given profession is. And the total goal of my podcast is really to inspire others, and also so that they can become educated or learn something new possibly when they listen in.
That sounds like a very mature, seasoned approach, and I can appreciate that. But I'm going to get back to the mess and to the tea. And folks, I want you to go check out Camille on coffeechatwithcamille.com. And let's get you back on the line maybe this Friday or the weekend to talk about some of your other guests and things, okay?
Absolutely. I'll be there Friday. Thank you so much, Star.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Camille. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Okay. It's one of my sponsors. Folks, if you want to be a sponsor, email me. You know what it is. You know how we do it, okay? Hey, Gina. Gina says, did you read Teesa's article in The Cut? Whoo, chow. Gina, I have been paying attention to Legion. I when I saw the notification, Reesa Teesa, oh, Good Morning America, I said, damn, 8 minutes. Hang on a second. Where are my notes here? Robin Roberts, what was really supportive. I'll just say that. And so I'm sorry. So to answer your question, Gina, I saw part of that, but no, I'm watching the videos. I'm watching the reaction, and I just think that she is connecting. I'm not clowning, big back women in no way, shape, or form, but we have to be real about the behavior. Notice in my title, Big Back Behavior. This is a certain way of moving about. If anyone else feels different, call in, chime in. But yes, I'm up to speed. Thank you so much for your donation, Gina. Wait a minute. Skylar Saunders, is that you, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Come a little closer to the camera, sir.
All right. Is that better?
Good to see you, man. What's cracking? You just threw up the diamond, the rock. What's going on?
Yeah, I just threw up the rock. I don't know why. I just threw up the Rockefeller sign. But I'm doing well. I did my little bit of research since you called me.
Okay.
Can we talk about the money, or where are we going? What do you want to address?
Well, we can talk about how much money she's going to make. I don't know, but I'm just talking about her social impact, and her story that is connecting to people. And I mean, Good Morning America, Tamron Hall. Well, where is her next stop going to be? Can we focus on what you perceive first about her story before we start pocket watching?
Well, I was gonna say, I think Monique and Tyler Perry are licking their chops for a potential project with her. That would probably be very interesting. She came across as someone that's very forthright. She seemed, that she was, telling the truth in every aspect, but she seemed like she also had like victimhood kind of about her. Did you sense that a little bit?
She might be a victim. She might be a victim of a Philly guy who caught her lacking.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we're going to see some type of legal proceedings at some point. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, it just seems like that she's on this media tour now. I don't know where she's going to go next. She hit the top, unless she hits the other two, Today Show and CBS Morning. But she seems to be handling it rather well. She's not boo-hooing and oh mammy, and she wasn't like that. She's just like, who the F did I marry? Who did I marry? I don't know who I married. And this Legion guy seems like he knows what he's talking about for the moments I've did the studying for, did the research for. He did
a 2-hour interview. Did you see it?
I did not see it. No, sir. No, sir. I will be looking at it in the future, though. But I think this is the beginning of the year phenomenon. This is still the first quarter. If you know, But I'm saying if anybody doesn't know, in parts of the economic quarters that various countries have, such as the United States.
Let me ask you a question. You mentioned Monique and Tyler Perry. Why did you mention Monique? I think she should stay the hell away from somebody like a Monique.
It seems like she would play her. It seems like she would give her, that big back kind of style, and Tyler Perry would know what to do with the direction and the production, and it would seem like it would be, something for the box office, or at least streaming service.
Okay. What's the latest on your platform, sir? On youtube.com/@Sky Saunders. What's your latest video that you've put up?
My latest video was on T.I. talking about how NBA players are like rappers. He was talking with Shaq on the big podcast show. I agree with him, but it's more in the sense of wrestling. I think rappers are more like wrestlers. They have a storyline. They have, I'm going to beef with this person. We're going to get this bag together. Yeah. That's what I think about it. is the consent is the idea of what hip hop is today.
Okay. I will make sure that we get that in the community section first thing tomorrow morning. I appreciate you tapping in, Skylar.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay.
Take care.
Skylar Saunders, folks. Okay. Let me go back for a second. I'm looking for anybody who has knowledge of Nature Boy's carbonation team, the camp. He's a weirdo, yes, but I don't know if he's, or if life without parole is the right sentence. He has been calling himself the return of Christ. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of people make that claim, I watched people on court TV just kick his back in because he's a black guy who, has been taking pictures with guns and other things on social media. I know at some point he brought a transgender into carbonation. I forget what period. So he's right in line with what today's generation or how they move, think, and so on and so forth. Let me just read something else here for you guys in case you don't know who he is. Okay, Nature Boy. On the evening of April the 13th, 2022, he was arrested by the Special Victims Unit, DeKalb County. Okay, rape, false imprisonment, sending sexual explicit messages, and booked into the jail in Decatur. In 2023, he turned 41 years of age. So he's not a young guy, he's not old, but he's 41. And I forget what year that was. When was it Young Pharaoh? He and Young Pharaoh were bumping heads, on social media years ago. That's when I first became aware of Nature Boy. And then I think, I could be wrong, Young Pharaoh is the guy who exposed Nature Boy was doing gay porn. Now, at first he denied it, and then he admitted to it. He admitted that he was doing gay porn for money. He was homeless and so on and so forth. So he has bounced back, and he has built this carbonation. Hang on a second. There's something else I want to read here because I've got a lot of different things with regards to his timeline. In 2017, he went to Costa Rica with his carbonation followers. In February 2019, okay, someone gave birth to one of his children. He was also detained in Nicaragua, pardon me, Nicaragua, 2019. So he's been traveling, taking his family, his team worldwide. And then he fucked around and got arrested in Georgia. I didn't see one of the victims give her testimony. But now, let me just say this before I open up the floodgates again. We were just talking 2 days ago about, or yesterday, pardon me, about not talking to police. Many of you think that when you get arrested and the police bring you into that interrogation room that you have to talk. No, that's when you shut up. That's when you and I'm a cop supporter telling you this. That's when you shut up and you say, I'll talk to my lawyer, you can put me in the cell, whatever. They can't help you. The police cannot help you. They're going to tell you, I'm just trying to help you. That's a lie. So they played his interview with the police during the trial. That worked against him, if you ask me, because he was talking about things and he was describing sexual activity. Now, whether it was consensual or not, the jury got a perception of him by way of his interview with the police. Again, that's when you shut up. Not saying he, is innocent, but I wanted to put that on the table, okay? All right, let me get back to the phones here. Area code 310. Good evening. Two topics. Reesa Teesa, super viral. Are you there?
Hey. Hi, sir. This is Jennifer Jones. How are you?
Hey, how are you? Are you one of my sponsors?
I am.
Girl,
I have been
where have you
so
been?
busy. I've been meaning to. I've been so busy. Like, I always have some shit to do. And lately, sorry, I curse. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Come on.
Whenever you're on, lately, I've just been either doing something, or for some reason, I have the bell on for all the notifications, but I have not been getting them. So
Okay.
I saw you tonight, thank goodness, and you have a topic that I can definitely discuss, which is Nature Boy.
Okay. Hold on a second. I want to make sure everything is spelled correctly on the screen. JenniferJonesCollection.com.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And let me just say this before I forget. You have to find the time in that community section where your banner is, talk to the people who comment under that banner. It's different. You have to bring them over to your platform. I want to drive traffic to you. Okay.
I will definitely do that.
Okay. All right. Nature Boy, can you educate me? I'm somewhat sort of out of the loop. I remember him years ago. I think it was young Pharaoh who exposed him for doing gay porn. Yes, no, maybe?
He wasn't the first one to expose him. He did a video on it, but it was out long before he mentioned it.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Years ago, I think it was 2018. And I so happened to be in a relationship with someone who was trying to do this whole polygamy thing, and I was not into that, and we ended up breaking up. And I just so happened to hear a woman on YouTube talking about him and how he has all these women, and I'm like, what is this about? I said, is this a new fad or something? I was like, why is everyone trying to have 3, 4, 5 women? So I go and I'll start watching his videos, and it became like a soap opera for me. Now, over the time of me watching these videos of him, I probably watched a good 2 years.
Okay.
He was doing the most because it was like a soap opera. He was live every day.
Yeah.
They were live every single day. He literally videotaped everything they did. I mean, almost everything. Yeah. So when it first started off, it seemed like he was this guy. He had at the time he probably had 6 women. He used to wear the Indian headdress, and he was all about, I'm a king and I'm this, and what they all say. And then it became, I don't know, I started seeing the violent part of it. You would hear, he would start making the women and the men stand in the corner if they did something bad for hours and hours and hours. Then it got to the point where they had to wash his feet and kiss his feet. And then he would take, the men couldn't have women at all. And then he had to have all the girls. And then he would give them to them give them to the other men when he got tired of them. Then he would take them back, even though they didn't want to be with him. It was a lot of mental stuff going on. And then you would hear violence in the back. You would never see him actually hit any other women, but you would hear it.
If I can jump in right there, this all sounds consistent with other people's movements, waves, and I'll use the word cult as well. He's got charisma, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So you were watching, as you just said, for 2 years. Did you watch any of the trial on Court TV? He's been convicted with life without parole and then 10 years.
I did not watch the trial because I stopped watching. I stopped watching a long time ago. But I think he deserves a good 20. I wouldn't give him life, but I would definitely give him a good 20 to 25 so he can sit down and not corrupt anyone else's lives, because most of those girls were in their early 20s, 19, 20, 21, and he was easily able to manipulate them and ruin their lives and have them doing all kind of nasty things and putting the videos on.
I'm not too sure if the word manipulate really fits this particular lifestyle, because you see, most people are sheep and they're looking for someone to lead them, and these were adults, not minors.
Yeah, they were. They
so
were not.
I don't feel sorry for them. Hang on a second. I'll let you get the last word. I don't feel sorry for them. If you agree to sexual promiscuity, and then at some point, for whatever reason, you then want to pump the brakes, that's a fine line. That's a fine line, because in that world of that religious or spiritual based understanding, the woman is supposed to serve the man when and whenever he wants it. And a lot of these women agree to that. So I'm not saying that he's totally innocent, but as you just said, you heard violence, but you never saw it, right?
Correct. I did. Yeah, it was never on camera, but you would hear it, and they would talk about it, and you would see bruises on the girls' faces, but you would see them. But that's all I had to say about that. I think that he deserves a good 20, maybe 25.
Damn.
And I would give him that. I don't think he should have got life.
I think he deserves a 10.
Oh.
10 years. 10 years.
No. I saw some things. He needs 20. He needs a good 20. No.
Free my nigga Nature Boy.
Way too much.
Okay, hang on.
He was doing a lot, Star.
He has done no more, if you ask me, than some of these other quote unquote cult leaders. And he did say when he was streaming live from the trial, he said that he never allowed children to be around him, right?
There was one child there who one of the members had with one of the girls. It was a little boy, and the little boy only got to stay because, you know, the man that was there was one of his main soldiers.
But no accusations of touching minors.
No accusations. Yeah, absolutely not. The only thing that he made that boy do was stand up while he talked for 10 hours.
Yeah.
And they had to stand there at attention for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Like they literally had to stand there.
Tell us about JenniferJonesCollection.com, please.
Oh yes, absolutely. Jennifer Jones Collection. I started my business in 2010. All of my jewelry is handcrafted. It's 14 karat gold filled, just very light, airy, beautiful jewelry that I sell here in Los Angeles. I started off doing farmers markets here, which I did in Calabasas, Larchmont Village. I now live in the desert. I live in Palm Desert now, which I love. I moved here like 6 months ago, and I really like it here. Very quiet, and my jewelry is they love it here too. I'm selling online now, which I've been doing for the past few years, but my jewelry is tarnish free, really beautiful, nice, very light, very airy, and women love it, and I love, I love what I do. I love making women feel beautiful with my jewelry and giving them joy that they can wear every day.
Great. So does the desert inspire you in some way? Because you say you love it. I mean, most people would find that to be not a desirable way of living. I respect you for it. Does it inspire you in terms of your art and creations?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a resort town, and I only moved here because I knew I could still make money here.
Yeah.
When it's high season like it is right now, everyone's here from all different places, vacationing. And one thing that I love to do is I love hotels, I love pools, I love anything that has to do with the sun. I'm a sun person. Nice. So even when I lived in LA, I lived near Manhattan Beach. So
and where are you again?
That was my thing.
I'm sorry, what area are you in again?
In Palm Desert, which is near Palm Springs.
Yeah, Palm Desert. I was on a road trip out there. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it does inspire me. It inspires me to make even more beautiful jewelry for women that are here on vacation who want, jewelry that they can go out in, or they can just, like I said, wear every day and even wear in the pool. I make really pretty body chains, my earrings, all my bracelets, everything they can wear in the water, and it's just really, really pretty. And like I said, it's very light, airy, and delicate.
Nice.
And I plan on doing a men's line very soon as well.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you. If you want to get back on the line next week, just email me or Amy. And also with regards to your banner in the community section, please just engage with people. Okay. And we have a new banner that we did for you yesterday. That's going to be in the at the end of this broadcast. That'll be in the stream. So just look for your new banner. Okay.
I will, and I saw it. It's really beautiful, and I'll definitely engage with everyone. Thank you so much, Star.
Thank you, Jennifer. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Okay. It's one of my sponsors, guys. Wow, she's out in Palm Desert. That's way out there. No, I wasn't out there. I went to San Bernardino, then I went down by Santa Ana, heading into San Diego. Okay. Guys, phone lines are open right now. Also, with regards to Reesa Teesa, she's lit. She's popping like Jiffy Pop on a Friday night. Yes, she is. On the block with Jen, I see you. Do you want to tap in? Where's Jen? Hold on a second. Let me send Jen an invite just in case she wants to call and promote something. Okay. Jen, I'm live if you want to tap in. Trevor, I got your donation. Thank you so much. They can't help you. Tell them, OG. Yeah, in the interrogation room. Shut the hole in your face. You know, a lot of blacks and Hispanics, you have the white God complex. You think that talking to the detectives or whoever, the fucking investigators, is what you should be doing. No, you should shut your goddamn mouth. Everything's recorded. Salute, Trevor. Yeah. Now, I mean, unless we're living the life that I was living, then yeah, you get in there and you start telling. You know, that's how you get out of jams. But if you're facing a 3 to 6 or something, or a goddamn decade, you need to shut the hole in your face. Okay. Hold on a second, guys. Let me get some other sponsors on the screen here. David, are you out there? David, you want to tap in? YouTube.com/@DVD1646. That's one of my sponsors also. Jamar, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Okay, so what do you mean? Yeah, Jamar, BMF and all that stuff, man. I've seen that formula on television and film decades ago. I respect it. I don't want to see that stuff no more, man. I mean, it's not that it's not good television. I'm just not interested. Jamar, I'm so old. I used to see black exploitation films in the theaters in the 70s. Hell Up in Harlem, That Man Bolt, Mean Johnny Barrows, Superfly TNT, Truck Turner. Oh my God. Give me some more names, troll babies. And that's the foundation of a lot of this stuff that they're making now. And I'm just not interested. I just, you reach a certain point, you don't care about who's drug dealing, who's in the club popping bottles. The formula just doesn't interest me, but thank you for your donation, okay? Star, Charlemagne folded like a laptop. I wouldn't have apologized. Okay. Well, sir, Charlemagne's going to do what Charlemagne does to keep his job. I ain't mad at him for that. Yes, and guys, in case you don't know, Charlemagne apologized to Reesa Teesa for his comments about, what did he say? Big back behavior and big back something else. It was some other word other than big back behavior, but I forget. But thank you for your donation. Okay, someone pretending to be R. Kelly. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I already responded to that. Pardon me. Guys, phone lines are open right now. Hang on a second. Hold on. Nature Boy. Something else I wanted to say about Nature Boy's conviction. For those who have been paying attention to his trial, he annoyed the judge so much. And when she was talking to him about, he wanted to fire his lawyer. And if he fired his lawyer, he had to represent himself. And then he tried to play semantics with her, a white female judge. She was getting annoyed. He kept looking back into the courtroom, and she kept saying, "Hey, I'm right here. Talk to me." And this whole thing about her having COVID, I think that's what made her just say, you know what, I'm going to sit this nigga down because he's a little too arrogant. He's a little too much of a narcissist. For those who may or may not have seen the actual proceedings on court TV, it was entertaining, I will say that, but he may have outsmarted himself, okay? Let me bring in area code 973. Is that my girl Janet tapping in on Monday? Janet?
Hey, Star, what's going on?
Great to hear from you. I got your email earlier.
How are you?
I'm great. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with, what is it, Reesa Teesa with the big back?
Yeah.
Okay, so is big back actually a physical thing or a mental thing? Because I know some girls about 300-400 pounds will put the baddest bitch to shame. Because they step, baby. They don't take no shorts.
Right.
So what are we talking about when they say big back behavior? That's just a blanket statement.
Well, listen, I mean, this is what they have been throwing around on social media. Charlemagne from the Breakfast Club and Just Hilarious. They started this little thing with the comments on Risa Teesa, and when she went on the Tamron Hall show, she brought it up, Reesa Teesa. And so it's a term that has been out there for many, many moons. It's not my term. Kevin Samuels used to talk about big backs. I think he called them big Shirleys. So it's a lifestyle. Maybe it's a mindset. You tell us.
Well, I think it's a mindset, because I know girls that are like dimes. And they feel like, they just get used and whatever. I'm talking about giving their boyfriends their cars, while they at work. And then I know some women that are thick as hell and got men. I know one girl that been married 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times. She don't even wait a year. It's a mindset. It's how you feel about yourself. Mm-hmm. You understand? And she don't marry no crumbs. The men she married, she done got houses, cars, all kinds of stuff out of her marriages. For real. She has her own practice now. So I think
I'm not necessarily clowning big back women, because there's a lot of guys out here that love BBWs. As the old saying goes, more cushion for the pushing. Feel me?
Some thunder thighs. Yeah. That some men, I know some.
Go ahead.
They love it. They love it, So for Charlemagne to make that statement, sitting up there with a face full of Clairol is, kind of odd.
Let's go. Let's go, Janet. Let's go.
So what about somebody tell him he only have a face for radio and he all up on the TVs and stuff? How about that? You can't just be walking around telling people things and making these blanket statements, and when you got to live in a glass house.
Well, he did apologize. I don't know if you're a Breakfast Club listener or watcher, but he apologized, So I guess it's water under the bridge now. I don't think she has responded to him directly, other than talking on the Tamron Hall show, and she didn't mention his name there.
Well, only thing I'm just saying is, before you men go out there, and some of you women go out there making these blanket statements, you all need to look in the mirror first, because one may not be the standards that they think they are. And that's the only thing I'm saying. And I think that he only apologized is because it was a political move, because he got so much stuff against. So many women are saying that he comes down on black women anyway. So, I guess he had to apologize. And then that thing with T.S. Madison, and she came out. Yeah, she came out.
Well, now hang on a second, because Just Hilarious still is going 10 toes down on T.S. Madison. So Just Hilarious is not backing up. She's not apologizing, and she's actually with child. So I think she's waving that in T.S. Madison's face. You can call yourself a female, but you can't produce one of these. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think T.S. Madison. Well, let me call her by her right name. What I call her Auntie Maddie. I don't think she considers herself a female. I think she knows she's a male, but she
Okay.
considers herself a woman.
Okay.
And that's the way she want to rock it out. Let her rock it out that way.
Are you up to speed, Janet, on Nature Boy sentenced to life without parole? Nature Boy.
Well, as far as what they say he did or did not do, I don't know. I didn't follow him. That type of stuff don't interest me. But if the law says that he deserved life in prison and they can prove why, then so be it. However, my point of contention is you can't sentence someone to life and 10 years because your authority don't go beyond that lifespan. So that's what people should be up in arms about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people should be up in arms about, because now you're stepping on his constitutional rights and you give him a platform to go ahead and mark a appeal.
Yeah.
You got to
if you and I can behind the scenes maybe just explore some of the legalities of his conviction.
Right.
I think he may have. I think he may be part of the sweep that they're doing in the Atlanta metro area to get people out of there. Young Thug, Nature Boy, anybody who's causing a ruckus, because that is a money town, the new black media mecca, and he may have just been sat down to just get him up out of there. Life without parole. One rape charge, and I just don't know if it's that type of sentencing is accurate. Yeah, is he a weirdo? Yes. Is he a bozo? Yes. But like you just said, his rights may have been violated. Go ahead, finish up.
They were in the ruling. I listen to everything a person says, and then I take that statement. I listen to everything. It's a certification for that. And once you start listening to what the words are saying and what people are conveying, and then you go from there. But my whole thing is, I thought people would probably be more upset about that additional 10 years because that oversteps authority.
Yeah.
That's that white man telling you that he is God. You understand? And that right there you got to pay attention to, because it's the passive racism that's going to do you in. It's like the new commercial that Miami, Florida got, where they got all these light-skinned and Hispanic people telling folks that they don't want them to come down here to Miami for spring break. They don't have not one dark skin.
Talk about it.
Passive racism, and people are missing it. They're more worried about if I'm drinking than the fact that the state of Florida has gone ahead and let you know that they don't want your black butt down there.
It's a fact.
But you're more interested to see if I was drinking or not.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. And then the man said that life plus 10 years. You're more interested.
It was actually a white female judge. Go ahead.
Well, okay. Well, she told that man that you have life plus 10 years. And nobody uttered the word. Say, hey, wait a minute. You just deemed yourself God here.
Yeah.
I thought we had separation of church and state in this country. People are not paying attention to these little drops that's filling up the bucket that's going to really get all of us out of here.
Gotcha.
Pay attention to what's going on around you.
All right. Janet, thank you for tapping in. And I responded to your other email that you sent this afternoon. I think it was. I scanned it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you okay? Hey, are you okay? Take it easy. Take it easy.
I'm just, doing a little
carry a bottle of water with you when you're out there, doing exercise. Carry some water with you, goddamn.
I will. Thank you, Star.
Thank you, Janet. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. I had to get a little ice for my wine. Yes, folks, I had a liver transplant in 2008, so I put ice in my alcohol, okay? For those who are so concerned. Jay, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, sir. He says, Pete Carroll ruined Russell Wilson. Yeah, I don't know what happened between them with regards to their, union. And didn't he get fired? Or did he leave Pete Carroll? Jay Norris? I don't have time to really Google, but thank you for your donation. 623, good evening. Are you there? 623. Jesus.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Okay.
Oh, we can hear me better.
What's cracking, man? Where do you want to start?
Just wanted to talk about the Russell Wilson situation.
He's been released, yes, from the Broncos?
Yeah, it's got to be one of the more confusing trades and situations I've ever seen.
Okay.
They gave up 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, Noah Fant, who can arguably be a Pro Bowl tight end, and I forget the other player, just so that we can trade for him. He had 2 years left on his contract. Russell Wilson did. They re-signed him for $200 million, and now they release him. And to your point a minute ago, $80+ million in dead cap space. That's going to go against their cap, so that's going to affect their future on being able to get draft picks, as well as they can't really sign free agents because they're not going to have the money. It makes no sense.
Well, let me jump in and say I have no knowledge here. I haven't been keeping up with Russell Wilson. I think he's got a great, team player, personality. What was the issue? What was the issue with the Broncos? Was it just a personality clash with him and the coach? I mean, what happened there? Because at one point the coach said something about stop being so nice, or he made some comment about Russell Wilson's off-field behavior. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Sean Payton, who's obviously this was his first year coaching in Denver, and him coming from the Saints and winning the Super Bowl out there, and his career, he came into take over shop. He didn't like Russell Wilson's kind of shaking hands, kissing babies, focus on the team because
that's what he said. He said, "Can you stop kissing babies and shaking hands?" Go ahead.
Yeah, and and Russell and I think to his own fault, he's a likable guy, but he's not like one of the fellas in the locker room.
Right.
I mean, he had his own office, he had his own parking space, and he separated himself. I just don't think Payton liked that, Sean Payton, and he wanted him to be one of the boys. And it just, when Sean Payton came out publicly and criticized him, they went on to win, I think, 5 straight. So Russell can still play. It's just, I think egos all around got the best of everybody involved. So I think if he goes to the Steelers, man.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
If he goes to the Steelers with that run game, that defense, basically give him the same situation he had in Seattle. Good coach, Tomlin, who's going to believe in him and put him in the right situation to succeed. Because honestly, if Denver wanted to make moves and keep him, they could have done it. I'm not comparing him to Peyton Manning, but they had a team around Peyton. By the time Peyton won the championship, the last Super Bowl, he didn't have much of an arm. So they could have built if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
But I think in hindsight, all the capital they gave up, where do you go? I just think
listen, you pay attention more than I do. I'm looking at Sean Payton's career history as a player, as a coach, a knowledgeable guy, clearly. But what is his deal? What sort of deal did he sign with the goddamn Broncos in 2023 to the point where they would let him, just get Russell Wilson out of there? This seems like he said, he's not the guy for us. Let's get him out of here. He's old. What sort of deal does he have, Sean Payton, with the Broncos? I
don't know the exact contract. I don't know. It's big money. I don't remember the exact figure, but what it feels like is because Russell Wilson didn't have the year they expected last year, they brought in Payton as a name, Sean Payton, to pretty much come in and say, we need to get this right together, because I think they realized as soon as they made the trade for Russell and they won't be able to put a team around him, I feel like he was never going to win with Sean Payton. as far as the situation. I think they brought him in to get old boy out. And Peyton, I think he'll be gone in a year or two because they're not going to win anytime soon.
Let me ask you this, and keep it real: is Russell Wilson washed? Is he washed?
I think he has 2 or 3 years left in him. I don't think he's washed. I think he can go to the Steelers Super Bowl, make a playoff run. I mean, they're winning. Are they getting to the playoffs right now without a quarterback? Mm-hmm. So I think they can make a move in the AFC. Now
he's 35. Russell Wilson. He's at that point where it's got to be consistent. 35.
Yeah, he's late in his career, but what he's gonna have to deal with is working within a system or the other way around. The system's gonna have to work around him in order for them to be successful. He played one way in Seattle, and wherever he goes, if he does go somewhere,
right,
they're gonna have to play to his strengths because he hasn't really developed anything else.
Gotcha. Okay. I appreciate the call, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for tapping in.
Yep. Have a good night, sir.
Bye. Russell Wilson, for those who want to talk sports. 3. White boy Rory, sit tight. You're up next. Sit tight. Jay Norris has tapped back in again. Losing that Super Bowl cost the Seahawks legacy. He's talking about Russell Wilson. The guy got the job done, man. I mean, can't hate on him, not like that. I mean, he's not some bum. Hey, Charisse. Now Charisse. So now we got somebody else. I don't have an issue with Cape Verdean girls. What is this? Are you Cape Verdean too? She says, "What do you mean by tart?" What do you mean by tart coochie? Can we get past that particular conversation, please? White boy Rory tapping in. I see you, man. What's cracking? We're shaking. Rory.
Yo, what's good, Star?
What's cracking? You sent me a text early. Did I respond?
Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about the other show from Friday, the mac and cheese.
Yeah, the racist mac and cheese show. That was gangster. They still gonna roll with black people made the macaroni and cheese, even though it's been in Italy for 200 years. Used to come over to the table and light the cheese on fire and then scrape it off into the macaroni, into the pasta.
Right.
That was happening in the Roman days, but all of a sudden, black Americans invented mac and cheese. But that's we give it to them. If they want to be like they invent mac and cheese, feel special, they invent mac and cheese, whatever.
Well, you actually took the show. Hang on. You took the show in that direction. I try to keep you, on topic, but you have admitted that you have a hearing issue in one of your ears. Yes, it's not just me saying, Roy, you got a hearing issue, yeah?
Yeah, but when I got jumped by a couple of black dudes, they kicked me in my head, and I lost like 50% of my hearing in my right ear. That's a fact.
It's a fact.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, man?
Well, listen, I know this, but people don't know. When you and I are talking, I say, Rory. It's because I know you got trouble here.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What else do you want to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I say, F.R. Rockaway for losing half my hearing in my right ear, because that's where it happened on
Rockaway, Queens.
On Beach 91st Street. Yeah, on Beach 91st Street. So F.R. Rockaway. I forgot where the fuck the
watch your mouth, watch your language, watch the language. Yeah. The language, man.
The Hamels. Hey yo, after all the black dudes from the Hamel projects or in Far Rock, we got beef for life. If anybody ever comes up and says they for the Hamels, we're gonna see what happens. But anyway, whatever about that. Yo, what's up with Nature Boy, man? Nature Boy the King. Why is it always, a lot of these promiscuous, low down, got nothing going on for them women join a cult, right? They join a cult, and all of a sudden after a little while, they don't like what's going down. They turn around and start throwing charges on somebody. You know, you left your
talk about it.
You left your
Talk
home.
about it.
You left your city. If you were stupid enough, or if you were infatuated enough with a dude on social media to go join him in his little sex cult, so they say, then that's on you. That's not on him. Why has he got to pay the price for that? You know, I don't understand that. You know, that's the part I don't understand.
They give him life.
You know, ever since I was a little kid.
Give him life in jail.
What?
Life. H boy, life.
Yeah, they gave him life. But they also gave the champ. They gave Mike Tyson a couple years in prison when that lady showed up at his hotel at 1:30 in the morning. And she said all she wanted to do was kiss. All she wanted to do was kiss. You know what I'm saying? Like, when do we put the blame on? Why is it always the man got to be the guy doing time and the guy getting charges? Why don't they put charges on the hoe once in a while? You left your house, you left your family. That's 2 or 3 years for you. You got flustered off of some dude on social media, and you left your wife and your husband and your kids, and you went and met him and joined the cult. Bitch, not only you joined the cult, now you're doing 5 years in prison. You know, why is it never like that? Why is it always?
Good point.
You know what I mean? I've never heard of a woman in a hotel room, and a man went to the hotel room at midnight and then filed charges on a woman, saying, you know, I only went into the room to make out with that woman, but she forced me to have sex with her, you know, and now I'm going to press charges on her, you know, and I'm going to file a civil suit.
Yeah.
Right? Never heard that. You don't ever hear women having a cult and a bunch of men running to a woman who owns a cult, and then the men turning around after being in the cult and not liking it and saying, no, I'm going to file charges on this bitch. I'm going to put her away for life because she seduced me into coming to this cult. Yeah. No, it's personal responsibility.
Hang on a second, Rory. Killer, I see you in the back. Sit tight, Killer. Sit tight. If we can shift gears for a second, Rory, your point is well taken with regards to Nature Boy and his situation. Are you up to speed on Reesa Teesa? She was on Good Morning America this morning. Tamron Hall last week, telling her story. Her ex-husband, she was married for 6 months, Legion, he's now talking. I mean, this is like the biggest urban story. You up to speed on this or no?
No, I really don't know that. I really don't know that black heifer. You know, I really don't know that black heifer. I'll be honest with you.
Easy. Listen, don't call her names.
I'm not saying.
All right. Charlemagne just had to apologize. Not that I'm going to apologize, but just take it easy. She's telling her story.
Well, I apologize, you know, but Good Morning America ain't what it used to be. So when you say good morning to America, it's usually going to be a bad day nowadays that Biden's president, you know. So, but let me say, start real quick. Yo, Sir Shy, I see, you know, I don't know what this fruitcake got, you know, this fruitcake got for me, man. I don't know him, you know. I don't want to know him. I don't know him. But he always got my name in his goddamn mouth. I don't, you know, and he's throwing super chats out there. Yeah. Everybody could tell you zesty, G. That's why you won't care him up. You a whole zest bag. You a whole bag of Skittles, a whole sparkler. That's what you a whole sparkler on the 4th of July, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so Shy the type of black dude. Let me just say this,
Go ahead.
So Shy the type of black dude. So Shy the type of black dude to catch the bouquet of flowers at a wedding and push the bridesmaid out the way. That's the type of black dude he is, man. Yeah, for facts, whole facts. He's a whole San Francisco Fruit Loop, a black San Francisco Fruit Loop, pushing women out the way, catching a bouquet of flowers at the wedding. That's him. He matter of fact, he crashes wedding. That's what he does in his spare time. He crashes wedding just to try to catch the bouquet of flowers. Okay. Bitch ass mother nigga.
Damn. Okay.
Anyway,
Rory, a good job. I let you clap back. We'll talk soon.
all right, so
All right, so okay. White boy Rory. Hang on a second. Damn. Okay, Florida boy Jay has responded. Okay, wait a minute. I need some tea. Where is she? My alleged daughter killer.
What's happening, Pop?
What's good with you, girl?
I'm cool, and I'm wondering why you still want to kick Big back in.
No. Hang on now. No, the big backs have united with Reesa Teesa. Charlemagne apologized. I emailed you because I know you got the tea and the info. You go. What did your response say to me? Something about. Hold on a second. What did you say? Like she ain't popping. What did your email say?
I said she's a snooze fest. I was literally trying to get. Listen, we want the tea on where Steve's opinion and his wife is hiding out at. We don't care about Risa Teesa. Her 5 minutes will be up by Monday. Nobody watches Tamron Hall. I don't even want to know what station she comes on.
Okay.
We don't care. So you know
Good
the
Morning
last.
America, Reesa Teesa. You've seen none of her videos?
I told you I watched all 50 parts. I did a review
Right.
on my channel about it, but we've been over it.
Where's your new banner, by the way, or should I just have one made for you? Because you've been busy.
I'm gonna email you over the one that I have for now, and then I'll get you a new one.
Yeah, and I'll have it redone if need be. Okay, but now you can't deny that she's not popping on social media everywhere. As I said, Good Morning America, Tamron Hall, 400 million views on TikTok. Come on now.
Yeah, but I'm more concerned about all of the desperate women who are gonna be trying to bust a move how she is now. Now they're gonna be trying to tell their goddamn sob story, and we don't care.
Okay, you're trying to downplay what's popping by way of social media. So come on.
You mad at me because we've been off of it. I know you were down for a few days, so you probably
I'm
had
not
to get
mad. I
caught
want
up.
you to educate me. That's all. But okay, if you're not up to
You
speed,
educated on a woman who was desperate, quarantined with a man after 2 weeks, had no clue who he was, didn't want to get on the internet and ask her who ask us who she married.
Right.
She didn't know the nigga. She didn't know him.
Okay. Nature Boy convicted, life without parole. You up to speed on that?
Nasty activity. I asked one of my people to inbox me the details about it. I'm still getting caught up to speed on that. I'm actually getting I've been having conversation with one of the wives.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get her on my show to have a conversation with her. I'm interested into know why they are still in support of him.
Okay. Well, he's been convicted, life without parole.
Yeah.
One of the victims, or the victim, pardon me, took the stand, told her story. I just think that that's excessive.
Right.
But he was they offered him a plea deal, which he didn't take.
Right.
Anytime
they offer you a plea deal and you don't take it, the judge kind of takes that as a slap in the face.
Yes.
So if you're out there doing any type of illegal activity, if they offer you a deal, take it because they feel like they doing you the favor.
I don't agree. You should always take the deal. But in his case, all of the trolling, all of the clout chasing that they have been doing on social media, sometimes you have to look at what you're putting out there, and you have to bite the bullet. I'm sure he's going to appeal. I don't know if the appeal will have any type of effect on what he has been convicted and sentenced to. But
I feel like the judge also might have sentenced him from a hurt place herself. She did make mention during the sentencing that he was a classic narcissist. And I felt like she was speaking from a more personal hurt place than anything.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation. Like I said, I'm trying to work on getting one of the wives on my show. I'm interested into knowing why they are still in support of him. They seem heavily brainwashed.
Let's shift gears for a second. And I like when you and I just have these kind of slow conversations about what's going on in the world of media. Usher. Met him one time. Not that that means any goddamn thing. Nice guy. Had a good interview. That was like maybe 2001 or two. My homie, Big Gene. Big Gene said something kind of crazy about Usher having to go to Scarsdale Hospital to allegedly get hemorrhoid. Something with the hemorrhoid back when he was Diddy, Bad Boy. You know who Big Gene is?
Well, it's funny you say Big Gene actually did a drop for me the other day. So yeah, salute to Big Gene. But
He
yeah,
was
I didn't catch
on
the
Dialogue.
hemorrhoid thing. I didn't know what he was trying to insinuate. Because if we being honest, he really didn't say hemorrhoids, right? He said he'll let Usher.
Hang on. Troll babies, did Big Gene say hemorrhoid on the Art of Dialogue, or am I putting too much on it? Let me say alleged. I don't know. Let me take that back.
When do we hold Usher mother accountable?
Say that again. Say that again.
When do we hold Usher's mother accountable?
Oh, no, I think that's something that can only come from him. I'm not saying she needs to be held accountable. That's a hard shot from you. Do you want to expand? Wow.
Well, the way Big Gene, put it, she pretty much sold her son, offered her son up to Diddy, right?
I'm not saying that, but Big Gene may have. I want to be more specific, so I'm not just saying the wrong thing. But okay. Never mind that. When are you posting more content on your platform? And please email me that banner ASAP.
I will email it to you first thing in the morning. And tomorrow, I will be going live from the courthouse. We'll be back in court tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be uploading tomorrow. I am covering the Bishop Whitehead case, as you know.
Bishop Lamore Whitehead, federal trial in Manhattan or Brooklyn? Where's the
Manhattan?
Damn.
Yeah, federal court in Manhattan. Trial resumes tomorrow with a very, very important witness. The DA is bringing a surprise witness for whatever reason, and things are getting interesting. He's facing 65 years, and we'll see what happens.
Send me the link to your live so I can post it in the community section, and I appreciate you. Okay.
Okay. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye now. Okay. Killer tapping in my alleged daughter. Sir Shah. Okay. Ooh, Sir Shah with the clap back. Rory got his eardrums damaged by a 9-inch Ethiopian. Okay. Sean, thank you for your support, sir. He says dope show. Thank you, Sean. Is this Sir Shai again? Hold on. I don't do all the back and forth. You should have. Sir Shai, is that you? 510.
Yo, Star, was good?
Hey, who's this?
This is Dre calling out of the back, bro. What's good?
Hey, what's up, man? What's cracking with you?
What? Yeah, man. Well, I want to talk about the Nature Boy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that life without parole is really excessive. But I think that there's more at hand here, something a little bit more silent and sinister.
Okay.
You know, if you take
do you follow him? Because I'm just trying to catch up, so to speak. I'm familiar with him from back in the days, but I didn't follow that whole carbonation thing over the years. Do you know his history?
Yeah. I watched the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. To give a man life without parole.
Yeah.
And him having all his activities being broadcasted on social media sounds a little excessive to me. So that's why I think that it's a little bit more sinister. Because if you look at it, a lot of people in the conscious community have been taking falls for similar issues, right? Now, Nature Boy is a weirdo for sure, right? But look at Nature Boy he up out of there. Young Pharaoh, he up out of there. Rashad Jamal, he up out of there. Brother Polite, he gone. So there's a common denominator here, and I think it's because of
well, hang on a second now. Where's Young Pharaoh? You say he's out of here. Where's Young Pharaoh?
Oh man, Young Pharaoh kind of coked out, allegedly. He done fell off all the way off. He up out of here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't heard from him.
Okay, he's not in the penitentiary though. He's not in the penitentiary.
No. Let's be clear. No, Young Pharaoh.
I have no knowledge of him doing coke or any other drugs. I just want to say that. But now, is he okay if he's not in the penitentiary? If we can just go to Young Pharaoh for a second. Very talented. He was. Hang on. Very talented. He was doing Muay Thai, boxing, and some other things. He's not doing that no more.
Nah, he's doing a lot of suspicious activities, but after he talked about the small hats, he took a suspicious downfall.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
he talked about the small hats that got him off the platforms, and then they sent a couple of snow bunnies towards him, and ever since then, he ain't been the same.
Gotcha.
That's just my opinion.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
Yeah. But back to the Nature Boy thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he is a weirdo, and I'm not saying that I'm sticking up for any of the actions that he may have or may not have done, but I think it's because of more so what he was teaching. When you're talking about I am God, you are God, people don't, especially in the South, people don't want to hear that. Right. You know what I mean? So I think him, you know what I'm saying, pissing off the judge and talking that I am God stuff really did him in. I think that was the fact more so than anything.
Where is he from originally? Because I forget, he's not from Georgia, right?
No, I think he's from the New York area, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I know he used to be a barber or whatnot, so they say. But he hung around that whole little area, you know, messing around with Sonetta and them. So he's been on that platform a few times. So that's my first ran into him. So, I mean, I'm not really sure where he's from. But my thing is this, though. What about the Fannie Willis thing? Isn't she the DA out there? So if she gets caught up on some corruption stuff, doesn't that mean the Nature Boy's case get thrown out? And Young Thug's case get thrown out. So it's just a lot of layers that's going on out there in Atlanta. I'm not sure what's going on, but that's probably why you got up out of there too.
No, I had enough. I just had enough, man. You know, I had fun. I've been going there since the late 80s, but okay, so I'm looking at some of his track record. In 2011, he was charged with theft and was arrested for aggravated battery. In 2009, he was arrested for forcible entry in Georgia. I've got his whole breakdown here about 2016, he went to Honduras. 2017, went to Costa Rica. So he was taking these people, Carbon Nation, and they were building, you know, a team. And I watched, again, over the years, you know, some of the videos off and on, but if we can just go back for a second, because you said you followed him. Is this one person that he's been convicted for these crimes? Is it one person?
Right. That's a good point. Yeah. So from what I gathered is the young lady that's making the allegations is his wife/baby mama. So the whole thing is, how do you grape your wife/baby mama? It's possible, but what it sounds like to me is that's a woman scorn. Mad because he, you know what I'm saying, banging everybody else in the compound, and she want him to be faithful, so she mad. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense if you look at it from that perspective. But again, I'm not saying that he didn't do it or sticking up for him. I'm just saying.
When you say wife, did they legally get married? Because based upon my research, this was a woman. I don't know if she's a quote unquote lady or not, who left Carbonation. She wanted to come back. They allowed her to come back. Does she indeed have a baby by Nature Boy? I don't know her to have a baby by him. Are you sure? I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think the young lady's name is Velvet or something to that extent, and yeah, they do have a child together. So you know, I mean,
hang on a second, and that's the one who he's been convicted for you know, RA, the R word. His baby's mother took the stand, but I don't think that's the one that we're talking about in terms of the conviction and sentencing. Please be clear. I'm trying to be educated here.
Well, from my understanding, that's what I've gathered. But if you have more facts on the issue than I, then, I will humbly, step to the left. But from my understanding, that's who it was. I could be wrong, but from what I've gathered.
Mm-hmm. They're saying in the live chat that you're a tether. Hang on. They're saying in the live chat you're a tether and you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well.
I don't know.
Step online and correct me then.
No. I'm not trying to clown you, man. I'm just saying what they're saying because I want to be as accurate as possible. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, they can say what they say. Well, bring the facts on. Right.
Hey, man, I appreciate the call, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying as far as them, where did they get married? I mean, they did some old Jungle Bunny jump over the broom and Costa Rica type stuff. So, I mean, it ain't no paperwork, but Right.
Hey, man, I thank you for the call, man. Salute.
Appreciate you. Salute.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, cult members are pressing charges, not his wife. Not his quote-unquote wife. One of his baby's mothers took the stand. Again, I'm trying to catch up to speed here. Either way, life without parole. Damn. David, where are you, man? Are you tapping in? He says, "Hey, stars, tonight. Good night." Yeah, man, absolutely. Let me send you the link. I got time tonight. One of my sponsors. Let's get David on the line here. David, I just sent you the link, sir. Check your email. Gem Star says, "Star, you are tripping. Cape Verdean coochie is elite. You basically getting a Brazilian butt without the HIV." Well, all I said was it was a little tart on 2 occasions. And these were young girls, late 70s when I had my first little sample of Cape Verdean coochie, and then 87 when I moved to Martha's Vineyard to live there. I'd been going there for years and years and years in the 70s and the 80s. But when I lived there, I was dating this chick. She's aight. had a little tartness to it, But thank you for your donation. 105 Fam says, "Salute, Star. Dune 2 was a great film, worth watching on the big screen." I started watching Dune 2, and it put me to sleep. Spaceman with Adam Sandler was trash. I watched it yesterday. I said, "Oh God." He's talking to this spider. The spider's crawling through this spaceship, and the spider's trying to sound like Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Adam Sandler looks like a fat astronaut. He's got on these weird, goofy, colored socks. It was corny, man. It was corny. Jamar, I got your donation. Thank you, sir. Okay. Hang on a second. Wait a minute. I got one of my sponsors. David, where are you, man? Let's get his information on the screen. Pow! David, are you there, sir? Can't hear you, David.
There we go. Hey, Star, how's it going?
Good to see you, man. What's cracking? We're shaking.
Great to see you as well. Just tuning into the show tonight. Great show as usual.
Thank you, man. Is your information spelled correctly on the screen right there?
Yeah, at DVD 1646. That's my YouTube channel. Yeah, that's perfect.
Tell people about your platform first before we address any topics.
For sure. So I have my YouTube channel, and there's a lot of great stuff concerning religion. If for those who are into religious studies, religious topics, there is a whole host of information on my channel. I think you'll enjoy it. And also, I break down a lot of symbology because I'm interested in like corporate logos. So there's a lot of information out there for people who are into that kind of stuff. Not too like of an esoteric nature, you could say. You know,
I appreciate you. We've had some
corporate
good
symbols, corporate logos.
Mm-hmm. Are you working on a new book by any chance?
Yeah, I am. I'm working on a couple stuff actually. I want to put out some material on angels.
Okay.
I think that would be very interesting. I'm doing a study on angels. So my next book is going to be in that direction. And then I'm contemplating, because I've done a lot on the religious front, I'm actually contemplating some social commentary, because there's a lot of stuff, I guess, in society. I have a different perspective, very opinionated. It's one of the reasons why I like this show, because you get a little bit of social analysis, social commentary.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we need that, you know.
I think you're a very knowledgeable guy, and I'm not just saying that because you're one of my sponsors. I read both of your books. Do you do any type of debates on your platform? Any debating?
Not as of yet. However, I have called in. There's a Jewish talk show. It's called the Tanakh Talk Show.
Okay.
I've called in on multiple occasions and addressed different topics, usually comparing and contrasting the Christian religion with the Jewish religion. So on that show, they have rabbis come on all the time, and people call in and voice their concerns or their contentions with Christianity. So I usually call into that show, put my 2 cents in here and there.
Okay.
See what they say.
Are you a descendant of one of the 12 tribes yourself?
I believe so. Well, I can't claim it, but my father can. My dad can, not me.
That is the question.
You know, I got
That
some
is
of
the
the
question.
I got some of the blood. Like
Right.
my father's Sephardic Jewish.
Okay.
So he's Sephardic Jewish, but born in the Caribbean, born in Jamaica. So very rare. There was only, I believe, there's like 200 families at the time that came to the islands. So they're actually, I think it's British or Dutch Jews of Spanish descent. So that's where my father hails from. And of course, my mother from Caribbean descent. So I just grew up exposed to the culture, learning different things, but at the same time, I don't claim it. So, because of course, you know the rules, you have to be born of a mother. So.
Well, sometimes it claims you, right?
That's deep. That's heavy right there.
Well, man, if you ever want to do any debates or anything, I can send people to you, because again, man, I have a lot of respect for what you do and your knowledge, of course. With regards to Nature Boy, you up to speed on Nature Boy, convicted and now serving life without the chances of parole. Who's convicted and found guilty on March the 1st, 2024, false imprisonment and other charges. You have to speed on this or no? Because
that name sounds so familiar. I know the name, but I can't, because back in the day, like all those guys, Young Pharaoh, Nature Boy, Brother Polite, Sonetta TV. I used to be into all that stuff heavy. I used to binge watch Shaka Amos. Like I love what those guys.
Man, Shaka Amos.
Yeah, education, because
Dr. Reggie.
Yeah, they promote reading and literacy within the African American community. That's why I always said Brother Polite made it cool to be intellectual.
I don't know about that, but and I mean he's always been very respectful to me. But General Sarah Sutton Seti is one of my favorites out of that, era, shall we say?
The first introduction I fell in love at was Professor Griff, actually.
Okay.
I guess they call it the conscious community. Yes. He was my introduction into the conscious community. Professor Griff was like the gateway for me. And then I jumped on to other ones with the Egyptology. Okay. And then I also, some of the Hebrew Israelite doctrine as well, the way those guys push their information.
Family in the Israelites. That's why I asked you, are you?
Yeah, I have respect for all the schools of thought, whether it's the Kemetic school, Hebrew Israelite school, which is starting to get a lot of traction now. They're starting to get acknowledged. I recently saw, I think it was Candace Owens. She had some clips from a prominent member of the Hebrew Israelite community speaking, and she was actually listening to what he was saying on her platform. So,
okay.
It's interesting how things come around full circle.
Before you go, any knowledge or anything you want to say with regards to cults, such as, even if you're not familiar with Nature Boy per se, the fascination with cultism, and the reason why people gravitate towards those types of a family, I use the word family loosely, but those types of families or tribes. Any knowledge there and any thoughts on why people allow themselves to get sucked in and then become a part of the family, shall we say?
Yeah, I think people naturally have a proclivity towards, or predisposition towards knowledge. Everyone wants some form of power and control. And in a world where we have no power and control, it's almost like a desperate attempt to gain some sense of power, because the majority of us are powerless. And that's why we gravitate towards these doctrines or esoteric information to gain a false sense of power. Because at the end of the day, we don't have any power, because you can study the occult, you can study mysticism and all these sacred wisdom. But at the end of the day, if you still got bills and you still owe a mortgage, how is it helping you, right? So I think people naturally, we want power, whether it's through money, through influence, whatever the case. And people that gravitate towards certain esoteric books or information, I think it's just the human imperative to gain some sense of security and power.
Very well said. Very well said.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Keep me posted if you need me to drive some traffic over there for anything in particular, or your whenever you post new content, man, shoot us an email so we can put that in the community section. All right.
You've helped a lot. I tell you one thing, because as far as the book sales is concerned, and also even just generating traffic towards my channel, I see the increase in the subscriptions. It's a beautiful thing. It's like, nice. I had a joke. It's like every time you say my name, I see the emails pop up. It's like, what is that? Everything you touch turns to gold or something.
Hey, man, I appreciate you saying that, David. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. So thank you, Star. Decoded, the Bible Explained, available on Amazon. Everyone copy a copy of this. And Decoded 2, The Secrets of the Lord. Very proud of these two books advertised here on the Star platform. Thank you, Star, for giving opportunities. I appreciate.
Okay. Talk to you soon, David.
Appreciate you, Star. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Good man right there. Very knowledgeable. You see, folks, just because I'm a non-believer and an atheist doesn't mean that I can't, promote you and what you do and what you subscribe to and or believe. Area code 786. Good evening. 786, you there?
Good evening, Star.
Hey. Who's this?
This is Sophia.
Hey, Sophia. Which Sophia? I know about 3 Sophias.
The Sophia that we DM'd the other day.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, you're snitching already. Well, what's going? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I don't DM too often. I just happened to go into my IG account, and I before I was going to hit delete all, I saw your note. What's going on? Where do you want to start this evening?
So, with the Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, whole thing.
Yes.
I think there's a correlation here that people are missing, and it's that with Reesa Teesa's man and Eligio Bishop, they both seem to master that power of manipulation and preying on vulnerable people. As far as his sentencing goes, I mean, I'm so on the fence with it, because I would watch the videos because I find cult leaders to be kind of fascinating. And I'm always like, are they that good at manipulating people, those people that dumb, because he would really abuse them, both the men and the women, on camera, and make such fools out of them, and they worshipped him like he was a god. And I just can't wrap my head around that. But the counts were also false imprisonment, revenge porn.
Mm-hmm.
I guess false imprisonment is like likened to kidnapping, as well as rape. And it was the woman who does have a child with him who claimed that at least one time it wasn't consensual.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what happened with that. Now they threw the book at him, like, what, beyond his grave?
Yeah.
Something like that. But they also did that with Keith Raniere, who was a cult leader up in upstate New York with the Nixum. He also got a life sentence.
Right.
So my guess is that they're just really powerful people, cult leaders for some reason, and maybe they're just that much of a threat to society. Like, can a person like that ever really be reformed? Or will they just go out and just find a bunch of like really weak people to form another cult again? I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with it.
Yeah, if I can chime in on what you just said, I don't think that they are that powerful, not even by way of mind control, if you will. Most people are sheep, and that's why we have this saying in the, well, I'm not a member of the Nation of Gods and Earths, but you know, the 85%, the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. And he's got charisma, you know, nature boy, I will say that. I think he got caught up and he started tripping because he didn't want to be seen by his quote unquote followers as being humbled in front of the judge and the system that he has been speaking about, so much to the point where he played himself out of position. She said during his sentencing, if you saw this, she said, you have shown no remorse. Did you catch that?
I did not catch that. I didn't catch that part. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah. She said you have shown no remorse. And then she hit him with the white moral authority, you know, hammer. Pow. You know? How dare you be this arrogant, you black son of a bitch. Pow. Had he have just, you know, said, hey, I want to apologize to the court or something, which he wasn't smart enough to do, he may have gotten 20 years. But now,
I don't know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The only reason why I don't know is because they did the same thing with Keith Raniere, and Keith Raniere was trying to be as humble as possible about it, and they still were like, you're getting life.
Yeah, but that was upstate. Where was that exactly? I forget.
I want to say it was upstate. I know they captured him like when he was in Mexico or trying to flee to Mexico. I'm not really quite sure where they tried him, but you're right. I guess it's different according to the state that you're in. But I did catch him asking the judge, like, do you love yourself? Are you unhappy? Like, why? That's not the time for your ego to be out there. You know, he should have just, you know, tried to humble himself a little bit, but I don't think he helped his case in any way.
Keith Raniere, born 1960, he was convicted of a pattern of racketeering activity, human trafficking, sex offenses, and fraud. I forget where he ultimately met his end, but you know, Nature Boy, you know, in Georgia in 2020, whenever he got arrested, I forget, 2020. Hold on a second, it's right here. Pardon me. 2022, he just wouldn't humble himself, if you ask me. Go ahead.
I agree. He wouldn't. I think he, you know, he started really believing his own lie that he's God. And I guess he learned today that he's not.
Yeah. Can he appeal this? I don't know what the specifics are of the sentencing. Can he appeal?
I've seen his wives, not his legal wives, but his, you know, cult wives, saying that they were gonna appeal.
Okay.
That they'd been talking to the lawyers and there was something where they could appeal. But I mean, I don't know how that's gonna work out.
he's got to get himself a different lawyer, and he's going to have to listen. Not that I'm saying he should be free, mind you. We're just discussing it, and I think that the life without parole is excessive. But I think the question is going to come down to, if he does get an appeal granted, can he humble himself? That's my thing.
I highly doubt that. I don't think people like that can ever humble themselves. I mean, or he should just become the God that he is and perform a miracle. You know?
You might be right. You might be right. Yeah, yeah. Anything else you want to chime in on? Risa Teesa, can you connect to her? I've seen your picture. You're a nice looking woman. Can you connect, or can you feel what Risa Teesa is going through?
Okay, so on the Reesa Teesa bit, I don't have TikTok, but it's such a viral sensation.
Right.
It's such a viral sensation that I'm very aware of what happened. I don't think that I'm that gullible, but I also don't think that this is a big back woman problem, because I have been played. Okay,
Say
and
again.
I
Say
clearly
again.
don't have a big back.
You said you have.
I've been played.
Come on.
Oh yes, multiple times. You know, and I think, you know, us women, we're emotional creatures, and a lot of times we're not thinking with logic. We're just thinking with complete emotion. I still wouldn't be that vulnerable, but I've definitely put up with a lot more than I deserve to, just out of just being like dumb in love, you know? And as far as Charlemagne is concerned, I just thought that was sloppy journalism, because it's such a fascinating story, and all you can do is to sum it up to some big back stuff. Like, you're not even that type of guy. Like, he's not a troll journalist. In fact, he tries to come off self-righteous so often that it didn't work. It's like, pick a side.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I thought it was disrespectful. I thought it was an attack on her size, and like, stupidity comes in all sizes.
Yep.
Vulnerability comes in all sizes. So I'm glad he apologized though. He ain't that dumb.
Yeah.
You know?
He's too old, if you ask me, to still be taking shots like that. He's a father. He's married. I don't know anything about his family life, but he hustles Black salvation. You know, mental health and some other stuff. He's hustling.
It was childish.
Childish.
It was childish.
Childish.
It was very childish. It was poor. It was weak journalism. You know what I mean? He could have finessed that in a different way. He needs to leave that stuff to just hilarious, because that's what we know her for. And she stands down, 10 toes down. She's never gonna apologize for anything. I think one time she may have apologized for one dumb thing she said, and that was it. You know, but she's the comedian.
She's in her early 30s. She's still got years where she can say silly, goofy, childish stuff. So I don't want to I don't want to see her apologize anytime soon. I like what she does. I think she's doing the damn thing. I
love her.
Yeah. And I'll just say this: I think that Angela Yee left at the right time. She was getting too old, and she realized, you know, she's not married. She ain't got no ring, and you know, it's tough for me to get out of here. But anyway, Sophia, I appreciate you. Great to hear your voice again, and thank you for chiming in.
Of course. Have a good night.
Bye now. Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, Sophie. 929, sit tight. You will be my last caller. 929, sit tight. I'll be with you in a second. Yeah, I don't check DMs, but she DM'd me about a week or so ago. Left me a very nice DM. I'll just say that. So I did respond, you know. But folks, please email me. I don't do IG DMs. Donnell, I got your other donation. Thank you for tapping in. Hold on a second. Okay. I think we're done here. Also, Dope Man, are you out there, sir? Guys, you can catch Dope Man from Hood Box Office. You should know the drill. YouTube.com/@TomYumLachon. Okay. Trying to get Dope Man to tap in. It's been a while since we've spoken. I want to get his perspective on a few things. 929, you're my last caller. Good evening. 929, are you there? On a Monday. No.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
What's going on? I'm Sober Poppy Star.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, man? How's everything? How about the Charlemagne apologizing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's hilarious. Charlemagne is a funny guy. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Reesa Teesa? Reesa Teesa.
He was going in, though. He was going in. He had to apologize. I commend him for that, though. I commend him for, being older gentleman.
Yeah.
He already did the trolling years ago.
Right.
So I commend him. He said he got daughters. He don't want nobody be making fun of his daughters. God forbid they come out and be big bad. So I understand him. Definitely. He was 100% right. 100% right.
To apologize. Yeah, he's too old for that type of.
Yeah, that's definitely He did the trolling and everything. He got his little jokes off, but he apologized as a man.
Yeah.
And we got to commend him for that. That's real though.
I'm not mad at him. I think he did the right thing. But now, hang on a second. Reesa Teesa, she's all over the place like bird shit. She was just on Tamron Hall. She was on Good Morning America this morning. The big backs. And I want to be careful saying this.
Big Bad Brigade.
Say that again. What?
Big Bad Brigade.
Big Bad Brigade. Wow. Oh shit. Show's over. This nigga's wallet. They are holding her down. They're holding her down. Go ahead, finish up. Sheesh.
That was hilarious. All right, son. Good evening for you, my brother.
All right,
my
man.
guy.
All right, salute, man. Salute. All right.
Later.